All right, everyone. So before we get started with our projects, first let's set up a environment which we all take part of, and I would recommend that we all have the same environment. Now, in my case, I am going to use Visual Studio Code, and I am recommending that you also do so. But if you are using something else, then by all means, the main focus of this course is for you to know React and to learn React by creating better and better projects. Okay, so for the code editor, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. I'm going to leave a link in the next section for you to download Visual Studio Code if you don't have it. Also for NPM, I'm going to use NPM and Node.js. So I'm not going to use Yarn. Also going to leave a link in the next lecture is actually a resource lecture where you're going to get all of your resources that we are going to use here. After you have Visual Studio, so if you don't have it installed, then please follow the link in the next lecture and come back to this, because I am going to take you through a couple of steps. We are going to, after you have Visual Studio Code installed and it's up and running, then please create a folder wherever you wish to create it and call it Project Sandbox or call it whatever you wish, but please create only one folder not on your desktop if possible, but create it somewhere else in a secured location so you don't lose it. Okay, now on the left side, if you click on our Explorer, you can see I'm already in a folder, so I cannot create another one or I cannot open another one. But really quick, I want to show you one simple extension, and this is going to be ES7, and this has the code snippet. So I want you to install both of them. First one being ES7 React Redux styled component snippets. This is going to install all of the snippets for React. I'm actually going to use a couple of them. Also the hook snippets are excellent. And then please also install ES7 React Redux React Native snippets. Okay, so if you have, and also GraphQL, this is also important. Now, if you have all of them installed, then we can go back and create our React application. So first things first, let me make something very clear. We are not going to create the React app for each and every project. I'm going to simplify everything by creating the React app only once. So let me close this up. Let's open up the terminal, Control tilde, and please be sure that you are in your folder. My folder is called curriculum. And within here, I'm going to npx create dash react dash app space and dot, because I want to create the React application within this folder. So let's npx create dash react dash app space, and I could go with dot, but just that we have the same procedure, I'm going to type in the name of the project is going to be project-sandbox. Okay, now let's hit enter, and the installation will take just a couple of moments. Now I'm going to use these moments to inform you that if you want to learn the basics of React, I'm also creating a complete course for complete beginners where I'm going to take you from HTML, CSS, and React. So this course should be also out in just a couple of weeks after releasing this one. But in the meantime, you can check out my free React crash course, which is on YouTube. I'm going to leave the link in the resource folders. So what is the idea here? Why am I creating a sandbox? Because all of the projects will be created in this sandbox. Basically, we're going to install React app within here, but we're going to use a separate folder where we're going to store each and every project. Meaning, when we're creating a project, we're going to create it in our source folder, and we're going to always refer or link up the app component to that folder. So let's get rid of everything that is in here. I'm not going to go through the details of what each and every folder means. Please check out the crash course for this, or just check out the main course for learning React. I'm assuming that you either taken my crash course before this, because that's really helpful for understanding the basics, but I'm also assuming that you know the basics. This is why I'm going to move a bit faster. So let's delete this. Don't need the logo. I'm going to leave here. Let's just leave here an H1. Oh, and by the way, you see this is app.js and no annotation is taking effect here. If this is happening to you, then just go down here where it says JavaScript, click on it, then type in React and enter. Now Emmet should work. So if I create a div or a H1, you'll see Emmet working. Okay, so this will be project. Let's hit save. Let's see. We don't need the test. We don't need the index. We don't need in the CSS. A logo, report, setups. Just delete those. Let's go into our index.js, we're going to delete from here index.css. The report, we're going to delete this, hit save, and I think we're good to go. I'm also going to delete everything that is in the app, and we're going to paste in here our CSS, which is going to come from the file that is supplied to you in the resource folder. Okay, so just copy in the entire CSS, and now we could just get started by typing in npm and start. And this should start our application. Wait, we need to cd into project, sandbox, and here npm start. Sorry about that. Okay, and this should start your React server. Start in a different, in Google Chrome in my case. So I'm going to make this smaller. We're going to have the app to the right side. Okay, we have it there. Project working. Perfect. As you can see in your CSS, there are a couple of fonts inserted here. You can obviously change them if you don't like them. We're going to go with Roboto for the entire projects, and we're going to reset margins, paddings, the same thing. Now, these classes right here are my classes, and I'm using these classes because I don't want to use Bootstrap, don't want to use any kind of framework, Tailwind CSS that could change over time, because then I would have to come back to the course and change a couple of things. So you're going to learn React here, and this is why I'm going to use my own created CSS, which I actually, this actually I created when I created my advanced CSS and SAS course. And as you can see here, a lot of classes are similar to Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS or so forth and so on. So we're going to use classes, and we're also going to use style components, inline style. We're going to use everything in our project. So you're going to have, at the end of this course, you are going to master any type of CSS within React. Also style components, okay, because we are going to install them. So you're in your source. As you can see, you should have only these three files: your app, your index, your app, and your app.css file. Now let's create a new folder called projects, and we're going to end the video here. So project, hit enter, and this is where we're going to create our very first project. Okay, so see you in the very first project.